between the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Green, 39!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And they'll run it here. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
No, check, Patriot!
Back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So here are the Lions now backed up for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Patriot!
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, here's Henry. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. Now they come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone, 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 gone. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills' offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
23 yards on the play. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw now on first down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Hurry up, here we go.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Set. Green, 30.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now let's go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Lucky 56. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Gone! All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Leopard! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Detroit! Gone!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. Probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Now, Barney. All right, here we go. 319.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
No, check.
Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Letting one fly. And got his man. Complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Set. 319. 319.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Back to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Now let's go.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The false start hurts them there a bit. Backs them up to 2nd and 9. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Back 99, Philly, here we go. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Looking to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A couple of first downs on the drive already. As they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He'll look to throw, and that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw here. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Green 39. Green.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills draw a bit closer. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdowns.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Cooper was the target there.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Patriot! Patriot! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
He'll drop to throw, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where you see the finals.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Able to slither by. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The pitch to Henry. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd half?
Most of the time in the 1st half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Green, 30.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back it up, Philly. Here we go. Switch. Gun.
They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. Completes it to Dixon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll toss it to Henry. Gets past one man. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
Again, it's Johnson. Down to about the 22 here. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a good run. Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
The Lions on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Hot.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
The Bills send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Dorsett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level. Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass.
Detroit! Detroit!
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And running with power here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard. Leopard. Three down. Watch it now, Barney.
They go to Johnson again. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Evades him at the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Detroit! Hey. 4 down.
Again to Henry. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On 3rd down, Henry. Oh, look at the juke. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.